You don't have to name which one. Would you? Or are you just like, that was part of the lesson?
I wouldn't redo it, but it's definitely part of the lesson. Definitely part of the lesson. This one I did a faith-based film.
Okay.
That I'm not really happy about because it's not the level of storytelling I feel that I am capable of. It's not. I know for a fact it's not. And then when I looked at it, I was a harder critic on it than anybody else. I'm like, yeah, this is definitely out of stuff. But it's all my fault because I ignored my gut in the first place and did it anyway. My gut was like, yo, this is not for you. But my circumstances were like, yeah, it is. How much they paying us? We're gonna make it for me. And the hardest lesson was short money is not always the best money. Okay. And that was gonna be my next question. I wouldn't redo it. I would just walk away from it. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you. That was one of my questions. How do you deal with the battle between what you were saying, like your gut versus your necessity at the time? Yeah. You said just walk away. Yeah. No matter how loud, and the necessity can get very loud. So it's always a battle. And sometimes you gotta, but I don't regret doing that film because I learned so much about me in doing it. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't have gotten that lesson had I not gone through that horrible experience. So as much as I did not like it and did not enjoy it, I'm grateful for it because it definitely helped elevate me. And like I said, you got to take the wins and the lessons with the same type of vigor and say, okay, I learned a great deal off this one. So, they're all, you can't put yourself, you can't get too high, you can't get too low. You got to stay consistent with everything that you're doing. And that was one of those things like, wow. Now, it took me years to get to that point and those revelations, but I was definitely, in retrospect, I've learned the lessons and I apply them as much as I can now. Absolutely. Okay, my camera's messing up. So I kind of lost my other question. I got it. So what is the relationship between the producer and the director, and how important is that relationship for the success of a piece? Wait, one more time. What is the relationship between a director and a producer? And So the relationship, the producer is the one that basically facilitates the vision of the director. They can wear multiple hats. They can get the money. They can put the crew together. They can put all the elements of a production together that allow you to execute your vision to tell this story. Okay. You know what I'm saying? A producer can also serve as a writer who can also help create. A producer can also create the vision and hand it off to you to elevate it, to make it visual. So a producer, there's a one set thing a producer does, but that relationship is vital because you all in this together. It's a partnership of the highest level because when you got a great producer, you can move mountains. You can create. You may not have the biggest budget, but you got a great producer that respects the process, that plans, that maximizes resources. You can shoot something in a very small amount of time with a very minuscule budget and still come out with great quality and great effort and things of that nature. You got a horrible producer, it's an uphill battle. It's a huge uphill battle in a weighted jacket, and you constantly you're fighting for coverage. So you really can't put your language on it. You can't put your style on it. You're just trying to get the thing done. So it's a vital relationship. Okay. Which genre is I guess is the easiest for you to produce? Where to direct, when you get the script or get the opportunity, and you look at the genre it is, you're like, okay, I got that one. And which one may be kind of a challenge for you, where you be like, okay, let's see about this, and this first, then, or maybe you don't have those two ends of the spectrum. Because I deal specifically in drama. That's probably my strong suit. I want to do more comedy. I can do comedy. I haven't done that much comedy yet, but that's also on my list to get into that landscape as well, because I think I'd have an eye for it as well. So working on that. There isn't a genre I would shy away from. I'll say this. Sometimes you're working on shows where, you're dealing with special effects, green screen, CGI, and I come from an ultra low budget world where I wasn't really well versed in that. So sometimes my learning curve has to be expanded when I'm on a show. And I ask a lot of questions. I do my research and try to have, an idea that is solid enough to accompany what type of a level of effect this show may have in particular.
Does a director have an agency that they're represented by?
Well, you have a team. You can have agents, managers, and an attorney, and it's a whole team that you work that works for you that helps you obtain more jobs.
Okay. What was one of the biggest monkey wrenches that was thrown at you in the middle of shooting? Maybe something fell or something, or maybe it was multiple things happening at one time and you kind of had to get a grip on things in the moment.
The biggest thing was I was shooting on Supergirl, and we were running behind time, and then a fire alarm went off, and everybody had to leave the studio, the stage, the stages, and we had to wait till the fire department got there, and then they had to tour the entire stage, the entire building to make sure everything was cool. So it just kind of shut us down for a good 40 minutes, 45 minutes.
Okay.
So, and when these things happen, you just kind of lean into them, man. There's no need to huff and puff and cry over spilled milk. You got to keep moving forward. So while that's happening, I'm figuring out, okay, how can I maximize the time we're going to have when we get back? I can do this and this. I can combine this. I can combine that. And I'm over there working with the DP and the AD. We're all huddled up like, okay, guys, here's how we can attack this day to salvage the rest of the day. You know what I'm saying? So we create a game plan, and then we bring in the cast, let them in on the game plan, the crew let them in on the game plan, and we just keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, like I said, in production, there's no production that exists that doesn't have any kind of hiccups, bumps in the road, or straight up potholes. So you can try to prepare as much as you can to alleviate the potholes, but eventually you'll get hit with a curveball that will just rock you. And your best bet is, okay, that curveball came. Let's problem solve. You know what I'm saying? That's basically the biggest thing is you want to surround yourself with problem solvers. I mean, having somebody that's complaining and griping about what happened or what's going on is wasting time, because at the end of the day, you still have to get the work done. You still got to get the work done. So let's figure out a solution to allow us to keep moving forward. And you also can't get caught up on everything being perfect. You know what I'm saying? You may have something in mind. I'm sweating over it. You may have something in mind that or style in which you want to do something, and you get to the set that day or that location, and it doesn't fit with what you had planned.
Right.
You have to modify.
Or it rains that day, you outside, or they got to move it all this. Yeah. Correct.
Exactly. Yeah. Yep. And that happened on Legacies, man. That on Legacies, I had a burial, actually a resurrection scene that was going to take place outside, but there was thundering lightning outside, so we had to move it all inside. You know what I'm saying? So you just keep moving. You just keep figuring out different ways to solve problems, and you can't let things. I mean, you have to be willing to embrace the situation for what it is and keep moving.
Okay. Was that kind of hard for you to do at first when you first started rolling, or?
No, I mean, like I said, coming from ultra low budget movies, that's all it is. Okay. You have an idea, but and like I said, you have no money. You have to be able to move however the wind will take you, because you never know what you have no control. You don't have security. Sometimes you don't have insurance. You just shoot and moving like, all right, let me get this done. Okay, or like, for example, you may get a location, and they're like, okay, you have this location for 2.5 hours. You'll never be in this location ever again. So you have to plan accordingly to maximize this location, because you know you'll never be in there again.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you feel that you play a part in, I guess, assisting with the disparity between what work is available for people of color versus the other races, and if so, how?
Do I play a part?
Mm-hmm.
I do play a part. I mean, as a man of color sitting in that director's chair, I mean, I don't take that lightly. I don't take it for granted. And also understand how important it is to keep opening the doors for diversity for men and women of color. You know, just you got to keep pushing it, because you know there's great work out there. And like I said, as I elevate and evolve, I understand my responsibility and the role I play, and my obligation to that role. So I definitely understand that. I definitely see the disparity. Like I said, it took me 11 years to get in television, so I understand how hard it is to get in there. And it's hard, period. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get in, period. Right. Sometimes it's even harder for people of color to get in, and women, and the game is changing and modifying, which is great. Mm-hmm. But it's a slow evolving process. But to answer your question, I definitely feel an obligation and a responsibility to constantly keep opening the door even more.
Okay, that's awesome. Trying to check the time here. Okay, yeah, we got a little bit more time. J Rabbit 28 said, "Is there a show that you would love to direct that you haven't directed yet?"
It used to be Game of Thrones and Ray Donovan, and both shows have ended. So
there's nothing around now though.
Yeah, I mean, there's several shows out. Actually, there are too many names. For starters, I'd say a show like Ozark.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Keep hearing about that.
Yeah, I mean, I would put that one up there, Ozark, and a show like on the level of Big Little Lies, things of that nature. Okay. So I mean, these deep, rich, compelling stories. So I don't really want to get put to a box. I also want to do like Wu-Tang. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of different shows that I want to get into that I'm making inroads to get opportunities to do. So and then there's constantly new shows coming out. Like, oh, that was a dope show. That was a dope show. Okay. So yeah.
Someone says, "What are your thoughts on directing Black Mirror?"
Depends on the script.
Okay.
Depends on the script. I mean, I've watched the show. Some scripts are like, wow, that was amazing. Some scripts are like, it all depends on the script, man.
And like you said, you got to be honest with yourself in those moments as well.
Yeah. You got to be honest. Not every show is for you. You know what I'm saying? Not every show you're going to get, or, not every show you should get, or you should be involved with, because some of them are like, this is not my lane. This is not my lane at all. So let me keep moving in this lane. And you got to be purposeful with your strategy and how you approach shows as well.
Okay. Trying to make sure, because this time it'll just like give you 12 seconds and just cut you off. We have a couple minutes left. I want to go ahead and thank you once again for your time. And thank you for always being available to answer any questions that I have. And that's major coming up. I wish you the best in your career. And I'm looking forward to seeing everything that you're doing in the future. And I'm looking forward to being in some of them auditions, knocking out some of them auditions. But are there any projects that kind of wrapped right before the shutdown and quarantine that are about to like premiere now or right after it opens back up?
No, because the episode I was working on, we never got a chance to shoot it. I finished prep, and right before we were going to start shooting it is when they pulled the plug. So I had an episode of FBI that aired in February, and Legacies aired in January. Other than that, I don't have anything new coming up on the pipeline. Not at this time, no.
Okay. And so I know you're deep into drama, but just as a fan, as somebody who is consuming entertainment, what are your favorite genres to watch?
Drama.
Okay.
I love drama. I also love, other worlds, you know what I'm saying? Expanse. Places that take me to different places. You know what I'm saying? That I can immerse myself in. But at the end of the day, it's all about a great story. It's all about a great story. And because we've gotten used to these next level stories, it's like, okay, like Narcos Mexico and how authentic they are to the world and how authentic they are to these characters' arcs and things of that nature. So it's a lot of great TV out here, man. It's a lot of great TV, a lot of great films. It's a lot of content out here that you can consume. That's like, okay, this is healthy for me to digest.
Right. Was there ever anything coming into your career? Because when you go from dreaming it to going to film school and then working the low budget things and then the major things coming in at the same time, were there any principles that you didn't expect to learn that you had learned, like, learning something and being like, oh, wow, I didn't even think that's a way I needed to think about something, or learning a lesson that you technically didn't expect you needed to learn until you learned it?
Oh, that's constantly happening. As I progress through these shows, like I said, after every show, I always make it a point to document the 5 to 10 things I learned on this episode, because every episode is totally different. You could be dealing with gunshots and shootouts one episode, explosions the next, a burial, a burning lake the next. I mean, everything is totally different. And every episode gives you an opportunity to learn a whole new aspect of filmmaking and a whole new style of a whole new degree of storytelling. So every time, and that's also what keeps it interesting. So you just kind of keep immersing yourself in the process each time. Each script you get, like, okay. And then also you getting the script and figure out how to break it down, interpret it to make it elevate from the page, to give the writer and the producers what they want. And some things they wanted, they didn't know they wanted.
Right.
Yeah. I see a question, man, about casting directors. Yes, they do like to cast actors that are 18 plus that look younger, because when you're over 18, you don't have a set amount of hours. When you're younger than 18, you have a set amount of hours on set that you can work. And once those hours are exhausted, you're literally pulled from set. But when someone is over 18, they don't have that issue. So it would behoove a producer and a show to have someone that's 18 plus. That way they don't have to worry about those limitations of work hours for minors.
Thank you, sir. This is a question I feel like you answered already, but I do want this. She added a good part in here. J Rabbit again. When deciding to cast, how important is the resume versus what you're actually seeing the actor demonstrate in the audition?
What I'm actually seeing, because people pad their resumes all the time, and
right.
A robust resume doesn't necessarily mean you have the skill set to obtain to get the job. So I'll look at a resume. It's so funny. I was in one audition, man, and I was looking at somebody's resume, and they had one of my films on there. And I'm like, and I just said, hey, you may want to modify your resume as you move on, bro. You never know who you run across. So, you know, like you look at a resume, like, okay, cool, but it's about the work. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why I tell actors, more so than a resume, like, you know, getting your reel together. And not even necessarily in projects, but if you have things to show people, and that showcases your talent and your ability to, you know, jump off the screen, that was your advantage.
Okay. Well, we are running out of time, and I don't want it to hit like 12 seconds and just cut off. Once again, man, thank you so much for gracing my show frame to frame, man. And I look forward to what you have. Any last words for the audience?
Yeah, man, just, you know, embrace, protect your dream, feed your dream, educate your dream, and go after it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and don't be afraid to fail and going after it. And you'll be amazed when you start taking steps towards, you know, what you're trying to accomplish, how things can align themselves for you. But just don't talk about it. You gotta be about it. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people talk that talk, and all they do is talk that talk for years on end. You got to do the work. You know what I'm saying? You have to do the work. And then surround yourself with like-minded individuals as well. Because sometimes you can be around somebody that you think is your teammate, but it's probably the biggest naysayer around. That could be shutting down your progress, and you don't even realize it because of you all's, you know, relationship, friendship, or whatever. So surround yourself with like-minded, insanely passionate, driven individuals.
Did you have to learn that lesson the hard way? You know, but in terms of the friendships and all of that?
No, I got it the easy way, man. Because like my frat brothers, I was surrounded by Kenny Young and Phil James were dreamers, and insanely driven to the point I had to step my game up to be on level with them. So I didn't have that, and we buffered ourselves because I mean there were haters around us. Like coming from the South Side of Chicago, you don't meet too many filmmakers that do this for a living. They're like, is that a real job? How do you make money doing that? And that's all the way out in Hollywood and everything like that. So being insulated by these guys and our community that was all about, yes, we can do this. Why can't we do this? Let's go for it. Was always a great thing that I took full advantage of.
Okay.
Yeah.
What were some of the things? Because I know you said you write down, you know, the top 5 to 10 things you learned from every project. Take us back to the Shy when you finished your work on there. What, if you can share a couple things that you learned?
Don't wear suits in August. That's probably one of the biggest things.
Wait, you wore a suit when you were directing?
Well, see, I wear suits on Friday. To answer Angela's question, I like to wear suits on Friday. And that's a personal thing for me because I told myself back when I was struggling, I said, if I ever get to a point where I'm working consistently, I will honor my struggle by wearing suits on Friday. So it's a personal thing that I do for me that has turned into something else. I mean, I have other directors doing it now and everything. It's really cool, man. And the crew always responds like, this guy got on a suit because when you're on set, you're wearing the most comfortable thing you possibly can. So, you know, I make it a point on Friday to get fly. I call it Get Fly Friday. And I got a Taylor out of Chicago, Lamar Latrell, and Betrayal.
Okay.
Shop back.
I got 16 seconds. It's counting me down. It's gonna cut us off.
Yeah, like I said, don't wear suits and shop, but also breaking down the story, mining the story for finding out what it's really about. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.